Yeah, yeah. Whoa. The streetlight flickers, a Morse code for the sleepless. My shadow stretching, trying to find a place where peace lives. Got the moon as my co-pilot, steering through the static. Life's a panoramic view from a heart that's automatic. I'm just a passenger in my own two shoes, counting the cracks in the pavement, paying my dues. The city's hum is a lullaby in reverse, a blessing and a burden, a blessing and a curse. Every window holds a story I'll never get to read. Just navigating one, trying to suppress the need. Yeah. It's a late night lag, the gears are slow to turn, but every lesson's a match, every scar's a place to learn. I'm just idling here under this amber glow, letting the quiet wash away what I used to know. Let the tempo drag, let the speakers crack on Rhodes Avenue, I'm never turning back. My ambition's a coat that's a little too thin for this wind that cuts through the faith I'm living in. But I fold it neatly, let the chill be my muse. There's a clarity and cold that a comfort just confused. I saw an old man dancing with his ghost on a corner, not for an audience, just to honor the rhythm that kept him alive when the world went quiet. A personal riot, so I loosen my shoulders, let my own beat find me. In the space between the sirens, that's where peace will find me. Yeah. Just a lag, the world can wait another day. I'm right where I need to be, on Rhodes Avenue.
Full of copper pennies and a head full of gold, but the exchange rate's cruel for a story left untold. They said save for a rainy day, but my forecast is clear. A constant drizzle, a doubt, a perpetual fear. I'm trading time for a wait, trading truth for a smile, walking the extra mile just to stand still for a while. Ooh, the math ain't mathing, the columns won't align when the currency is spirit and the payments a sign that you're selling off the magic for a safety net. Ooh, but a cage made of comfort is a cage you get. So I'm cashing in these copper pennies for a dream. I know it's counterfeit to some, but it's the realest thing I've seen. Let the banks keep their interest, their sterile polished schemes. I'm investing in the cracks of life, the spaces in between. Ooh, yeah. Copper pennies, they weigh me down, but that's the sound of the ground, the only truth I found. pockets are heavy, but my spirit feel light. I gave away my golden watch for a watch of the night. For the constellations, for the patterns that they weave. A promise that was lost is never truly naive. It just changes its address, learns a different tongue. Becomes a song you hum when your own song's been unsung. So let the collectors call, let them tally up the cost. I found a fortune in a moment that the clock hands lost. In a loft that wasn't bought, in a hand that wasn't held. In the quiet I discovered when the noise just finally fell.
They circle overhead in a suit and a tie, with a smile that's sharp as a lullaby. They pick apart the vision till it's safe in its blend, a ghost of the dream you once held in your hand. They call it consulting, I call it a case. They turn in the pages of a different age, where the soul is a metric, the heart is a KPI. They wanna quantify the reason you cry, but I keep my window open, let the real air in. Let the vultures circle on the wind. Velvet vultures, with your talent so clean, you'll never find a kingdom in a quarterly screen. I'm keeping my mess, my beautiful wreck, a little too raw for your perfect concept. Yeah, velvet vulture, you can peck at the bone, but the part that is me, you'll never own, never own. Never own. I built a sanctuary out of broken parts, forgotten melodies and discarded arts. A place where the heartbeat is the only beat, where the flaws are the flowers and the weeds are sweet. So go ahead, present your pitch, your polished little plan, or a package of man to streamline the fan. I'll be in the corner with the dust and a crackle, where the fire's still real, even if it's just a sparkle. My imperfections are my armor, my glorious stain, the one thing your algorithm can't explain. Let them circle, they don't know where I nest. Somewhere far from the cleanup crew.
They say go far, they say climb high, but I'm learning the glory in a steady sky. To watch the paint peel to notice the grain, to find the whole world in the falling rain. I've been a tumbleweed, a slave to the guts. Now I'm studying the beauty of a little bit of rust. The way a vine grips the brick with such patient desire. Is it giving up or is it climbing higher? I used to think movement was the only way to grow, but the deepest roots are the ones that take it slow. Yeah, yeah. This is the art of staying put, finding the universe in a single rut. Not a lack of will, it's a different kind of push. Learning to blossom where you used to just push through the brush. Yeah, it's the art of staying still, letting the silence have its fill. There's a courage in the pause, a strength in the stand, with my feet on the ground, my heart in my hand. Yeah, my past is a traveler that forgot to bring a map. It circles back around, takes a nap in my lap, and it whispers, remember the fear of being left behind. Remember the hunger that was never fully defined. And I say I remember, but I'm not that man. I'm learning to be part of a different plan, where the harvest isn't always in the yield, but in the willingness to stay upon the field, through the drought and the flood, through the seasons. Slow dance, I'm planting my flag in a second chance. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere, and for once that feels like flying. Through a life that I don't recognize, a filter on a filter in front of my eyes. Everybody's projecting a perfect little scene, a digital dream, so clean and so mean. I'm liking a photo of a friend I don't call. We're building a community inside a glass wall. I feel the phantom vibration, the phantom connection, the performance of love in the quest for affection. My reflection in the screen is a ghost made alive, flickering away from me every night. Yeah, I got the hologram blues, a three-dimensional shadow with nothing to lose. I'm a pixelated promise, a profile of a man, trying to find the substance in a virtual plan. Just a hologram blues, a mirage of a feeling I can't seem to use. It's a beautiful prison, a glamorous cage. I'm turning the page, I'm turning the page. So I power it down, let the blackness be real. Let my mind remember how to see and to feel. There's a texture to silence, a weight to the air, a moment that isn't curated or rare. My hands are just hands, not a tool for a swipe. My eyes can look up at the world and not type. I'm reclaiming the awkward, the long quiet pause, the beauty that lives outside of the cause. And it's messy, it's human, it's terribly slow. It's the only place I know that I can truly grow offline. It's quiet in me, it's perfect.
I tried to write a perfect story, keep the lines all straight, a narrative of triumph, a twist of joyful fate. But the pen kept slipping, the plot began to bleed, a confession on the margin, a small forgotten need. I wanted a hero, noble and so clean, but the character that showed up was a little more mean, with scuffed up shoes and a cynical laugh, a man who's broken more than his share of glass. I tried to cross him out, start over from scratch, but the spilled ink on the paper was the only thing that matched. So let it run, let it bleed, let the story be exactly what it needs to be. A little crooked, a little frayed, a masterpiece of all the messes that I've made, yeah. Spilled ink is the only truth I know, a map of where I've been, a sign of where I'll go. It's my style. I've got chapters of silence, verses of regret, a poem for a person that I haven't even met, an ode to the corner where I learned to stand, a haiku for the calluses on my own two hands. There's a stain on the page that looks just like a scar, a reminder that the beauty is never very far from the thing you were trying so hard to erase, a smile on the face of a not so perfect place. So I'm handing you the notebook, it's tattered and it's worn. Let the critics call it messy, I call it being born. It's all the good, the bad, the in-between. My peace of mind is a house with a silent alarm. You can't hear it ringing, but it's doing no harm. It's just a quiet signal, a flicker in my chest saying slow it down friend, you're doing your best. But the world wants a siren, a spectacular show, a grand declaration of the highs and the lows. So I keep it internal, this guardian of mine, a soft red light in the corner of my eye. Doesn't shout for attention, doesn't beg to be seen, it just hums in the space between what is and what could have been. It's a silent alarm, a whisper in the noise, a call to protect the small, gentle poise. When the pressure starts building and the walls start to shake, it's the voice that says stay, for your own spirit's sake. Yeah, a silent alarm, no bells, no glare, just a knowing in my bones, a weight in the air. And I listen now, and I listen now, da 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 da, I used to mute it out with a louder sound, drowning in the hustle, spinning round and round. I thought the only victory was to never rest, to prove I was stronger than the quiet in my chest. But the alarm kept blinking, the patient steady guide. It said, the strength you're looking for is found inside. The pause, the retreat, the deliberate no, that's the only way you're really gonna grow. So now
I honor the signal, I thank it for its care. My silent alarm always there.
Thank you.
It's the hour of honest thought, when the day's lies expire, when the soul's exposed why a flicker and fire. I'm arguing with a God I don't quite believe in, about the rules of the game, about the life I've been given. He's got a voice like a worn out record, skipping on a groove, saying, son, you chose a path, you got nothing to prove. And I say, but the fine print, man, I didn't get to read. Yeah, the clause about the loneliness, the overwhelming need. Yeah, he just crackles and pops a dusty old refrain. That's the cost of being conscious in a world built on pain. It's 3 AM theology, a debate with the dark, a search for a single illuminating spark. No choir, no steeple, just me and the void, asking the questions that the daylight destroys. Yeah, 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 yeah. 3 AM theology, it ain't pretty or neat, just a man on his knees on a bare apartment street, trying to make sense of the silence, trying to make peace with the violence of just being here. Yeah, I flip the conversation, turn the table around, ask the emptiness below if it's afraid of the sound of a heartbeat so stubborn, a will so absurd to find meaning in a moment, to give way to a word. And the emptiness just stares with its infinite eyes and shows me the reflection of my own surprise, that I'm still here asking, still choosing to fight for a sliver of purpose in the dead of the night. Maybe that's the answer, not a sermon or a proof, just a man at 3 AM, a solitary truth. Yeah, maybe that's it, just a asking, that's enough, yeah. chasing a throne made of diamond and gold. The story of victory they wanted me to hold, but the weight of the title was bending my spine. I was losing the real me for a borrowed design. So I traded the scepter for a simple brown sack, put it on my head and I never looked back. Now I'm royalty of the ordinary, you're the king of the small, the ruler of a kingdom that needs nothing at all. My crown's got a crease, my robe's got a stain, but I never felt more power, never felt more sane. It's a paperback crown, yeah, it ain't much to see, but it fits my head better than their philosophy. I'm the monarch of my corner, the lord of the block, the emperor of a sidewalk, the duke of a knock on a neighbor's door just to see if they're okay. That's the kind of kingdom I wanna reign today. Wow, my paperback crown. My quarter's the bodega, my subjects are the few who know the simple magic of a morning dew. My decrees are just kindness, my taxes are a smile. I'm ruling with a patience that took me a long while. So understand it's power not to take and but to give. Not the way you dominate, but the way you let things live. So let them have their castles, let them have their guards. I'm building my empire from the junk in my backyard, with a paperback crown and a heart that's finally live. I'm the king I was searching for every single night. All hail the quiet kingdom. It's glorious in here. I'm a neon ghost in a city that never wakes, a silhouette that the street light makes. I drift through the avenues, a forgotten name, a flicker of purpose in a steady flame. I used to be solid, I used to be here, with a plan and a future, a direction so clear. But the years are insolvent, they dissolve what you know, leaving just the outline, a translucent glow. Now I'm haunting the corners where the music is low, a shape in the fog with nowhere to go. But it's a peaceful haunting, a quiet parade, a life lived in the afterglow of the plans that I made. I'm a neon ghost, bright but not quite there, a beautiful absence, a weightless prayer. Yeah, yeah, a neon ghost. I don't need to be seen, just a shade on the sidewalk, a part of the scene. It's enough. Self standing in the window of a bar, looking so heavy, weighed down by the scar of 1,000 ambitions that didn't work out. A silent, internal, unending shout, and I wanted to tell them just let it all go. The outline is stronger than the solid, you know. The ghost is the essence, the part that remains after the struggle, after the change. So I hover beside him, a gentle, cool breeze, and I watch as his shoulders drop, finally at ease. Just a ghost. doesn't arrive with a thunderclap. No manifesto, no cleverly worded map. It's a subtle shift, a recalibration, a quiet persuasion, a slow, sweet infiltration. It shows up in the way the morning light lands, a gentle demand on your open hands. It speaks through the texture of a well-worn coat, a single hopeful note in a dissonant quote. It doesn't argue, doesn't try to convince, it just waits for the moment you finally unclench. It's the quiet persuasion, the softest of calls, a whisper that echoes through your internal walls. It says you can rest now, you've done all you can. Let the world keep spinning its intricate plan. Yeah, the quiet persuasion, a voice without weight that patiently points to a different fate. Not louder, not stronger, just simply more true. It's the part of yourself that's been waiting for you. I've been a student of shouting, a master of noise, a collector of anger, a breaker of poise. But the wisdom I gathered was hollow and thin, a house made of noise that I couldn't live in. Then I heard it in the silence between the tracks, a voice saying, look, there's no need to attack. The peace you're after isn't one in a fight, it's found in the moments you let in the light. So I'm listening closer, I'm tuning my ear to the quiet persuasion, the voice that was always here. It was always here. Just had to be quiet enough to hear it.
Carrying a box mark, fragile cargo on a road full of potholes, a chaotic lago. I don't know what's inside, I'm afraid to look. I just know it's the only thing the world never took. It's lighter than air, but it bends my back. A delicate, singular, sacred fact. It might be a memory, it might be a scar, it might be the whisper of who you are when the sirens are screaming and the walls shake apart. It's the peace that survives the still beating heart. So I walk with a tenderness, a mindful pace, protecting this fragile, mysterious grace. Let the others race by with their sturdy, loud loads. I'm taking the back streets, the quieter roads, with my fragile cargo, my beautiful doubt. The one thing I know that I can't live without. I hold it close. One day I'll set it down, I'll open the lid, I'll see all the things that I've secretly hid. The hopes that I cradled, the fears that I fed, the dreams that I buried and thought were long dead. And they won't be perfect, they'll be dented and worn from the journey they've taken since the day I was born. But they'll be mine, a mosaic of light, proof that I made it through the long endless night. So for now I just carry it, steady and slow, my fragile cargo, the only truth I know. Almost there, just a little further.
mind is a city. At the end of the day, the traffic of thoughts slowly fading away. The anxious commuters, the frantic cabs are pulling into their mental slabs. A billion connections, a tangled up net are finally quieting, starting to forget the worries they carry. The loops they were on are fading like a chorus after the song is gone. I'm the mayor of this madness, and I'm turning off the light, one synapse at a time, then into the peaceful night.
It's a synaptic lullaby, a neural hum, a calming of the storm where the chaos comes from, a gentle sedation for the overactive mind, the sweetest, most elusive piece of man can find. Yeah, synaptic lullaby, slow and deep, rocking the frantic circuits to a restful sleep. Let it go. I used to fight the current, try to shut it down with willpower and fury, a chemical frown. But the more I pushed back, the louder it got, a screaming, relentless internal plot. So I changed my approach and started to sway to the rhythm of the quiet. At the end of the day, I watch the thoughts like clouds drifting by, without grabbing or judging, without asking why. And slowly, so slowly, the current grew still, a surrender of force, a gentle act of will. Sleep now, the city is quiet, I am quiet.
I've been walking a mile in borrowed shoes, trying to understand the life I didn't choose. They pinch at the heel, they're a little too tight, but they're showing me a world in a different light. I see the cracks from the side of the street, feel the blisters from the battles that they couldn't beat. It's a humbling journey, a sobering walk, to hear the silent things that they never taught, about the weight they carry, the quiet despair, the way they fix a smile just to make it look fair. Yeah, I'm learning in borrowed shoes, a lesson in empathy, a different kind of news. It's not about judgment, it's about the space to see the common struggle in every phase. In borrowed shoes, I'm finding my own, a connection in a world that wants to stand alone. It's a walk I had to take. Now I'm handing them back, a little worn, a little frayed, with a deeper understanding of the price that was paid for the walls that we build, for the stories we tell, to hide the simple truth that we're all scared to hell. My own shoes feel different now, a newfound respect for the simple, solid ground, the way they connect me to the earth, to the journey, to the step that I choose to take with a quieter depth. So thank you for the loan, I'll return them with care. Carry the lesson in the souls I wear. I see you now, more than I did before. I see you now, more than I did before. Yeah.
Celebrate the victory, the finish line crossed. The thing that was gained, not the thing that was lost. But I'm a connoisseur of the nearly made it. The story that was written and someone erased it. The job that called back but the offer fell through. The love that was so close then it just withdrew. There's a magic in the margin, the power in the slip. A different kind of gold from the alchemist's grip. It's the almost that shapes you, the mist that defines the beauty in the broken, the truth in the sign. This is the alchemy of almost, turning the nearness into the thing you value most. It's not a loss, it's a different kind of win. A door that didn't open so a better one could begin. Yeah, the alchemy of almost, the art of the close, but not quite finding the pearl in the no. It's a science of the spirit, a subtle art, turning the shattered arrow into a stronger heart. I have a museum of almost in the back of my mind. Exhibits of grace I was too blind to find. When the bronze medal felt like a failure, not a feat. When the near miss was a wound, not a retreat. Now I walk through the galleries with a different eye. See, the almost was a compass, a guide to the why. It taught me resilience, it taught me to bend. It showed me the beginning in the premature end. So I pour a little out for the things that never were, and thank them for the alchemists, they helped me stir. Here's to the almost. It made me who I am, and I'm grateful.
There's a garden growing where the record used to be. A strange and lovely symbiosis I was too scared to see. The broken glass is glittering, a mosaic in the soil, and the weeds I used to curse are now rewarding all my toil. I planted seeds of sorrow in the places that were dark, not expecting anything, just a simple hopeful mark. But the rain came down with patience, and the sun, it did its part. Now there's daffodils in the dust, the victory of the heart. It's not the garden I imagined, it's wild and it's unplanned, but it's the most beautiful thing I've ever held in my hand. It's dust and daffodils, a contradiction made of grace, a reminder that new life can find the smallest space between the hard and heavy, the rubble and the ruin. A flower for the dying, a song for the undoing. Yeah, dust and daffodils, they grow side by side, a testament to all the parts of me that died and came back different.
I don't sweep the dust away, I let it be the bed. For the yellow blooms of courage that grow inside my head. For the petals of forgiveness, for the stems of self-respect that I water with the memories I used to try and wreck. It's an ecosystem now with a loss and of the game. The sunshine and the shadow, the pleasure and the pain. And I'm just a gardener, a steward of this plot, learning that the beauty is accepting what I've got. A little bit of ashes, a little bit of bloom, a little bit of light rising from the tomb. Right there in the dust, yellow, beautiful. But I don't see myself. I see a collection of projection, a library on a shelf. I see what they told me, what I thought I should be. 1,000 different versions that are staring back at me. The overachiever, the people pleaser, the ghost, the one who raised the glass the most, the stoic, the joker, the man made of stone, a gallery of reflections that I've never truly owned. I'm looking for the face that was there at the start, before I learned the art of playing a part. So I'm taking down the mirrors, one by one, letting in the light of a simpler sun. I don't need the angles, the distortion, the lie. I just want the truth in my own two eyes. Yeah, taking down the mirrors, clearing the wall, see who I am when I'm nothing at all, just me. Slow demolition, a careful quiet act to dismantle a reflection that was so deeply cracked. Each mirror is a story, a chapter of my past, a version of myself that I finally outlasted. The last one is the heaviest, it's covered in a haze. It's the one I built in childhood in so many ways. I take a breath, I lift it, I let it hit the floor. The shatter is a freedom, the opening of a door. And in the empty space, with no reflection there, I feel a sense of wholeness. So weightless, gentle air. There you are. It was you all along. I used to be a runner, a lever, a chaser, a watcher, a clockser, collector, a pacer. My life was a sprint to a finish unknown. I was always too early, or always too blown. Now I'm sitting on a bench watching the paint dry on a fence, and it's making more sense than the frantic pretense of a life spent chasing the next big thing. A bird that refused to use its own wing. I'm learning the language of the slow moving cloud, the virtue of being unapologetically unloud. I found a patience I never had,
grace I was too fast to see, yeah. Patience I never had, a gift from the way. A different kind of strength, a more sustainable gain. You found me.
The seed doesn't rush to be a tree. The river doesn't rush to be the sea. They just become in their own good time. A process so simple, a reason so prime. So I'm letting my own becoming unfold. A story that's worth more than the gold of a quick result, a flashy win. I'm letting the real growth begin. In the underground, in the dark, in the slow, where the deepest and the truest roots go.
I've been chasing the eclipse, running from the light, to understand the nature of my own internal night. I thought the darkness was an enemy, a thing to overcome. Now I know it's just the other half from which the light is spun. I've been standing in the shadow, letting it define the edges of my spirit, the border of my mind. I wanted to be only sunshine, a perpetual noon, but I was fading faster than a quickly fading moon. So I turned to face the darkness, I walked into the shade, and learned that it's a place where real strength is made. I'm chasing the eclipse, the moment of the blend, where the light and the dark find a way to be friends. It's not a war, it's a dance, a celestial design. The shadow and the sunshine, both of them are mine. Yeah, chasing the eclipse, a total perfect sphere, a wholeness I was searching for when I was only chasing clear totality. Darkness have its space, I let the shadow fall across the bright ideas, across the plans I made for all. Show me the topography, the contours of my soul, the peaks that need the valleys to ever feel whole. I'm no longer running, I'm standing in the path of the coming great obscurity, and I'm not afraid of that. Because on the other side, when the moon begins to slide, the light returns with gratitude, with nothing left to hide. And I'm a full spectrum now, a crescent in a sphere, no longer fighting half of what it means to be here. Te kibidi, I'm all of it, finally.
After the long night,
The sky's turning lavender, the streetlights are a blur. The city's engine idle, it's a soft, contented purr. I'm standing at the window with a cup of something warm, watching the world recover from the previous night's storm. My head is clear, my shoulders have let go of a heavy load. I'm looking at the quiet, unremarkable road. And it looks like a canvas, a promise, a blank page after a long, hard battle in a solitary cage. I didn't win a victory, I didn't lose a fight. I just made it to the morning after the long night. And it's a quiet kind of glory, a subtle, gentle pride, the light in tired eyes, the truth behind the lies. I told myself to keep going when going felt like stone. I found a new belonging in the feeling of alone. Yeah, the morning after the long night, it breaks so soft and slow. A peace I didn't know I'd ever get to know is here.
Once you talk the beat,
I see the old me sleeping, the shape beneath the stress, a version made of armor and a little bit less. I leave him there to rest now. He did the best he could to get me to this moment where I'm finally understood by the only one who matters, the one who walked the walk through the silence, screaming through the inability to talk. I made it to the sunrise. It wasn't swift or grand, it was just a steady hand reaching for a hand. And now the world is waking, a soft and gentle hum, and I'm just glad to be here, my own prodigal son. Yeah, I'm here, the night is over. It's a new day, let's just be here.
shut up, meaning after the Lord. Shut up, meaning after the Lord. Yet a morning after the long night, it breaks so soft and slow.
A peace I didn't know I'd ever get to know. Turning lavender, the streetlights are a blur. The city's engine idle, a soft, contented purr. I'm standing at the window with a cup of something warm, watching the world recover from the previous night's storm. My head is clear, my shoulders have let go of a heavy load. I'm looking at the quiet, unremarkable road, and it looks like a canvas, a promise, a blank page after a long, hard battle in a solitary cage. I didn't win a victory, I didn't lose
lose a fight. I just made it to the morning after the long night. And it's a quiet kind of glory, a subtle gentle pride, the light in tired eyes, the truth behind the lies. I told myself to keep going when going felt like stone. I found a new belonging in the feeling of alone. Yeah, the morning after the long night, it breaks so soft and slow. A piece I didn't know I'd ever get to know. It's here. In a shape beneath the stress, a version made of armor and a little bit of less. I leave him there to rest now. He did the best he could to get me to this moment where I'm finally understood by the only one who matters, the one who walked the walk through the silence, screaming through the inability to talk. I made it to the sunrise. It wasn't swift or grand, it was just a steady hand reaching for a hand. Now the world is waking, a soft and gentle hum, and I'm just glad to be here, my own prodigal son.